Hello, hello, hello. Hold on one second. We got an issue.
What's the issue?
The video up there won't go the fuck away. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please bear with us. Okay, there we go. There we go. That was pissing me off, ladies and gentlemen. We were experiencing technical difficulties, but we are here. We were pushing it to the very last minute, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have every single one of y'all here. Remember, this is a show that we're running with with Hellfire being remote for social distancing. So we're having technical difficulties, but we are here. We need more good luck in the world. Yes, we do. We need a lot of good everything in the world today.
Yep.
So anyway, how is everybody doing? Welcome to yet another episode of Critical Hit, your tech and game news show here on Twitch. We have, as you've seen, Hellfire and me, Retro. Glad to have everybody here. To the Stream Demons, go ahead and give an early shout out. Horns up to the Stream Demons right there. So Hellfire, how was your day? How was work?
It was interesting. I had a day. I'll just leave it at that. I came home and crashed.
You came home and crashed. Okay. We'll leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. We will leave it at that. So for me, I had an interesting day today. I had some web maintenance to do. I had some graphic work to do for New Law Media. Had one of my clients, they wanted to update their logo. So they decided to go to someone else for a logo. And when they got their logo, they sent me the email and they realized they finally looked at it, okay? And it was the shittiest logo ever, okay? Low resolution. We're talking 72 DPI. We're talking pixelated as fuck. And how much do you think they paid for it, Hellfire?
Oh, $50, $100, something like that.
$250.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
they got highway robbed.
Yeah, and they have a contract for web maintenance through me, but they have no contract for graphics from me. So they went to somebody else thinking, oh, hey, we're going to try this person, and I charge very little on prices, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The graphics he had, I would have charged him $50 for. Okay, that's literally $50 for $250. He would have got a beast graphics from me. Okay. But that's beside the point. So he paid for it, so he wanted to use it. So we put his crappy ass graphic out there, and so it was a day today. It was a day today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just put it that way. But we're here. We got smiles on our faces. We've got energy. We've got stories. So stories. Yes, we do. Speaking of stories, before we go on, is there anything that you do want to talk about? Anything in the world besides what we've got for stuff that you want to talk about?
Not a whole lot. It's kind of quiet. There was some stuff I was hearing earlier, but it's not really pertaining to anything here, so I'll leave that alone.
Okay. Something I do want to mention, we've already got it in let me see if I can throw it up here. Nope, don't have it yet. So it'll be in the timers, ladies and gentlemen. But we finally got the Critical Hit Discord going. Here is the invite code. Oh shit. There we go. There's the invite to it, ladies and gentlemen. There it is right there. Make sure you join it right there if you want to get the latest news. We're going to start anytime we do our shows. We're going to take the show notes and post the show notes, as well as having anytime we post to YouTube and stuff like that, it'll automatically post over there. When we go live, will be posted very soon. Once me and Hellfire can actually get together in a studio, we're going to be doing content creation for tip videos on how to do this with streaming, and how to do this with computers, and how to repair your garage door opener, or how to repair your blender without getting cut on the blades, and all kinds of odds and ends of different tech and game news. We're gonna have tips and tricks and things like that, and you'll get those on our Discord. So make sure you join it right there. Grizzly Badriano. Hello. Oh dude, you're very handy. Exactly. So we've got a lot coming for you guys.
Along with that, everything we've been talking about that's in the works might be coming sooner than we expected. I actually doing some figures today. I've got some catching up to do because I've been running behind on builds, but I found a couple places. Assuming one of them is still available when I catch myself up, around April, possibly. Me and Retro may have a place with a good sized garage that we can turn into a studio, and we'll be able to do this thing in person with everything we've been wanting to do. So,
yeah, that's definitely as Grizzly said, it's great news for us. It's definitely great news. It will be a lot of great things to come, ladies and gentlemen. This will also increase. Having a studio will let me increase my retro show. It'll let me use my gear to help you increase your show as well, using my film lights and my film cameras and stuff like that. So we'll be able to bring you guys a lot more awesome stuff. Other stuff that I haven't told you yet, but I may have my hands. It's not a big one, guys. It's not big, but I may have my hands on an old school 90s Winnebago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if we get this Winnebago, guys, okay, it's small. It's like a 3-person Winnebago, so it's not huge. You don't need a Class A or a Class B license to drive it. You only need a Class C. But at the cost that it is, and be able to get this, it will let me and Hellfire be able to travel the U.S. doing my ghost hunting stream on Mystery Mondays, as well as doing traveling for Critical Hits, so that we can actually go to conventions, Comic-Cons and Game Cons and tech conventions and things like that, and do some more cool stuff.
Yep.
So Onyx Demon is in the house. Hello. Nice there. Let's start doing some shout outs real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some shout outs. I'm going to head and start with a shout out to Onyx Demon real quick. Unless you want to go ahead and start doing those, Hellfire.
If you got it, I'll let you go ahead with it.
Okay, we're going to do some shout out, ladies and gentlemen, then we're going to get into our news.
There. Alright. I don't need no shot glass.
He don't need no shot glass.
There, Annie. There's your Annie.
Then he gets banned.
Man after my own heart. Right from the bottle.
Okay, so far there's some shout outs there. Let's go ahead and shout out us, Hellfire. So I'm going to shout out Hellfire real quick, guys.
It's all down my bullshit now. Whoa.
Y'all get to see 2 Hellfires on screen.
I have no
I think so. I see a red line.
And then there's me as well. Oh, look at that. He just fell right into the water. Just fell right into the water, ladies and gentlemen. Also, these video clips that you see on this stream here, you also see the shout out player on my stream as well as Hellfire's. They're thanks to the Twitch Guru, which you'll find his link pop up in the timers as well. I chopped my head off. I chopped my beard half off for my job interview today, and now I'm depressed. I feel sorry for you, dude. I feel sorry for you. Tabitha Stabitha, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, guys.
Grizzly, yes, that was you. This shout out player right there is awesome. It's really cool. You get to see random clips from the streamers that we shout out.
Since I failed the word ban.
Oh,
she failed a word ban. Look at that. Tabitha failed a word ban. I wonder who gave her that word ban.
My punishment is nose go. So basically I have to play with one finger on my nose for the timer. So timer
For most people who don't know, the wonderful Tabitha Sabbatha, me and Hellfire, we are frequent constant members of her stream. I am her biggest nemesis in the word ban channel point reward that she has. There's Hellfire there.
Move.
with the very first ever.
This is where we're.
Look at this.
So
I can't look right now.
we were both having problems. Me and Hellfire were
Somebody
playing
clip this.
Valhalla for the first night. Yeah, we were having
trying to run
bugs
away from
the first night.
What the fuck was that? Oh, I love
So there we go.
You can't
Oh.
even see it. He's barely holding on.
Retroactive,
in this
baby,
game,
retroactive.
And he's underwater, and he's still making it in the game. Now that
So I did have.
that is
did,
some
it just
epic
hit me. I had
level
news.
gameplay
Kinda,
right there.
I'd kind of like suppress the memory. But I almost went to jail yesterday.
Oh? For
Yeah.
what?
So I was at work, and of course, I'm allowed to dress how I want to dress at work. So it's cold. I've got my jacket on, my hood's on. I'm walking around picking up trash. Police officer drives by, kind of like nod at him. He goes by. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm walking around picking up trash. He turns around, comes back into the apartment complex, and he's like, "Do you live here?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you're trespassing." I was like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "If you don't live here, you're trespassing." I was like, "I don't live here, but I'm not trespassing." And he's like, "Yeah, you are. It's private property." Da da da. And I was like, "I'm not trespassing of you. I promise you, I'm not trespassing." And he was like, "Well, if you don't live here, you're trespassing." He's like, "What are you doing here?" And so, of course, me being the smart ass that I was like, if you hadn't have been a dickhead, I would have told you what I was doing here. But now I'm not telling you shit. And so he was like, "Oh, well, I can arrest you for trespassing." I was like, "Go ahead. I'll sue the town. I don't give a fuck."
Well,
And so-
technically, you couldn't sue the town. You could sue the state, but you couldn't sue
Yeah,
the
well,
town.
either way, it was town police. But yeah, anyway, I was like, and he was like, "Oh, you think you're bad?" And I was yada yada. Anyway, on and on and on. Finally, he gets out, walks into the office, and asked the boss lady who I was, and she was like, "Oh, let's meet this guy." Da da da. And he comes back out glaring at me. "You could have told me you worked here." And I was like, "If you hadn't been a dickhead, I would have."
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Hellfire has a penchant for provoking issues. He likes to, like, when a issue arises, he doesn't try to diffuse the issue.
Nope.
He tries to ignite the issue. Guy with a gun pointing at him. Hellfire's like, "Okay, shoot me, duh." He don't diffuse. "Oh, hey, look, I got money in my wallet." It's just like, "Hey, my face needs a bullet. Shoot me."
Yeah, hey, look, I've been in that situation. Gun in my face, and was like, "You ain't gonna pull the trigger. You ain't gonna pull the trigger." Talking shit the whole time, because 99% of the time, people will pull out a gun, but it's too cowardly to pull the trigger.
You'll see, and I know that, and as you know, ladies and gentlemen, back in my 20s, I did work for the local McDonald's here for a short stint because I was in college at the time. And I don't know if you remember the stories or heard the stories about how the Airing House McDonald's got held up.
Yeah, it's been held a couple times, but
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I was the first one to ever get held up. They put us in the locker at gunpoint, ladies and gentlemen. We were all in a freezer. The only thing that helped us was there was like 15 of us all shoved into this cold locker. So at least we had body heat going on. But yeah, I had a gun to my face. But I'm not stupid enough to be like, "Oh, hey, you're an asshole. You're not gonna shoot me." Plow right to the face, because in certain instances, some people will shoot, because the manager of the McDonald's that we worked at actually got shot in the foot. So it can and will happen. You can't always guarantee people, and people of today are stupid as fuck, and will, if they don't intentionally want to shoot you, they're gonna be idiots and accidentally shoot you. So you can't put it past someone for that instances. Let's see. I tried working for McDonald's. They wouldn't hire me. I was like, how do you not get a job at Rotten Ronnie's? Oh, Dip, I've been held at gunpoint at an old job. See, it's everybody has those instances where at some point in your life, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get held up either by a knife or a gun. Okay. Now, here in I almost said our name. Here in the town that we live in, the swamps of North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, we have some dumbass people. Okay. We had a 7-Eleven in our town, the one on Main Street. Okay, it was held up by somebody with a freaking water pistol, ladies and gentlemen, a water gun. Okay, we're talking a bright orange water gun, and the cash register person still gave them the money. Now, how stupid can you get?
Yeah, see, I carry my gun with me anyway, but if I worked at a retail place like that, you damn right I'd carry my gun into work. Because I'd give them the money as soon as they turned their back to walk out the door with it. I'd shoot their ass.
So Tabitha was saying hers was at Jamba Juice. I know what Jamba Juice is. I've been to California. Jamba Juices are nice, but I would never expect them to get held up at gunpoint. Wow. Let's see. Grizzly said, I had a gun pointed at me by mistake. Dude thought I was someone else. People, bro, freaking people. I had a buddy ask me to rob a gas station with syringes full of bleach. See, people are stupid out there. People are stupid. Now, speaking of stupid and police, this brings us to a segue for our weird news, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it does.
So it is now time, because of this, it is time for weird news. Now, we got two different things for weird news. First, we're going to go with a story, and then Hellfire actually found it's not so much weird news, more so than just a funny tech gamer clip.
It's a funny video a buddy of mine posted to Facebook, and I stole it. So
yeah. So anyway, let me scroll through the notes here. As always, I do have notes off to the side because very soon, once me and Hellfire have a place, we're going to have a teleprompter that's in my shed that we're going to set up, and we'll be using the teleprompter. But for now, I have a monitor over here that has a notepad with our script on it. Anyway, How do we announce the topic of this? Should we just go ahead and say, okay, Oregon Police Toilet Paper 911 is the title of this story, ladies and gentlemen.
Only in 2020 would this even be a possibility of a damn news article. Like, what the hell?
I think so far this is this story, this weird news story is literally the shit. And you're about to find out why, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, police in Oregon are reminding residents to not call 911 if you run out of toilet paper. As we know, COVID has caused a lot of people to stock up on the overly cherished roll of tissue. Along with items such as disinfectants, hand sanitizers, we see some people reselling these items at high prices via supply and demand. And as we all know, many people will freak out, but please do not panic, ladies and gentlemen. Or at least that's what Newport, Oregon Police Department is asking everybody. They said it's hard to believe that we have to post this. It's hard to believe that we have to even post this. Do not call 911 just because you ran out of toilet paper, as the quote from their Facebook is stated. What was chat saying? Sounds good. It started off okay. The department even offered alternatives, ladies and gentlemen, from history of the Great Depression. They mentioned things such as using dried corn cobs, pages from old magazine. They even were quoted mentioning that sailors would use old ropes and anchor lines soaked in salt water, or how the Romans would use sea sponges soaked in salt water. This led them to say a quote that we are a coastal town. We have an abundance of salt water available. Seashells can also be used. So for many of us, let's see, Little Celeste, nothing about a box full of your one-off socks, right? There we go. So anyway, for most of us, since they mentioned, this town mentioned that they have abundance of seawater, why not use seashells? Okay. For many of us, we pretty much laugh at the humor in the movie Demolition Man about the 3 seashells. For those of you who don't know, make sure you watch the movie. But it seems that the movie has Simpson-like predictions. Mm-hmm. For a movie to talk about using 3 seashells as as toilet paper, ladies and gentlemen. And now here we have a town in Oregon telling you to do just that. So anyway, guess who's laughing now? Definitely the movie company who made Demolition Man and Sylvester Stallone. But in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, with the weird news, if you need toilet paper that bad and you don't have the money or your town is out of it, you can easily go to Walmart or any hardware store, and in their plumbing section, they sell a hose that you hook up to your faucet, be it the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink, okay, that has a sprayer nozzle to it that you can just hook it to your bathroom sink, extend the hose out, and make a podunk redneck bidet, ladies and gentlemen. They even sell components, and I know Hellfire knows this one, that you can attach to your toilet water connection to attach an actual water hose to with a sprayer nozzle to, and use your actual toilet water to create another outdoor garden bidet. You know, there's ways to save money and not need toilet paper. And for those who out there who don't know, it'll take some getting used to with the cold water, but a bidet will get your ass cleaner than toilet paper will.
I ain't even worried about the cold water. Have you used a bidet?
Yes, I have. However,
that stream of water hitting your asshole is like a weird ass feeling.
Oh my God, I refresh, just stop with the ads. So now that's some big brain move there. Right, Grizzly, right? And Lilith's joking about my calling it a redneck bidet. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in some very, very high dollar, prestigious Marriott hotels that have bidets in them, okay? Yep. And I've been in some lower end hotels that have had bidets. Now, believe it or not, okay, there's 3 grades of bidets. You got the podunk redneck bidet that I mentioned to you, using a water hose or a sprayer nozzle that you stick onto the faucet. You got the medium grade hotels. Theirs are like what you're talking about, Hellfire, where it's cold and the jets are really high powered. Mm-hmm. Okay. However, the super expensive rich people Marriott hotels, their bidets have computer controls to where you can adjust the temperature of the water and the pressure of the water. Okay, so rich people have it made, ladies and gentlemen. They get clean asses with warm water spraying up their ass. Okay, and I'm telling you, a bidet will clean your ass better than any toilet paper you can ever imagine. No joke.
Yeah, it's not just going to get the butt. It's going to get inside your ass, too.
Pro tip, turn the water pressure down. There you go, Hellfire. He didn't know that one. Let's see. I want to use a bidet to pleasure myself while watching my lifetime sub to Pornhub. Hellfire.
No comment.
I don't have the sound effect. I need to put it in here. I need a Pornhub sound effect on Critical Hit just for you. So anyway, that's the second weird news, ladies and gentlemen. I think that so far is the best weird news that we've had about not calling 911 because you ran out of toilet paper. Yep. So I think that is the most epic of weird news so far. Now, that's not to say somewhere in the future we're not going to have weird news that's going to trump this, but for the moment, this one trumps them all. My very Italian grandpa had one when I was like 3. I was like, your water fountain looks weird, Peepaw. Pretty sure I became most disappointing grandchild.
Oh my God. So here's the thing. I didn't use bidet till I was 20 years old. And I was working on the road. Job I was at had me going from like town to town all over Virginia and a little bit up in the DC area. And I believe I was in the DC area at the time. And it was at a point where a lot of the hotels were booked up, so they had to put me in this really, really, really like fancy ass hotel. It was like $500 a night, because everything else was booked up. And so I get there, and I was like, "What the hell is this contraption?" I couldn't figure out what the hell, why it looked so weird in the toilet. And I get on the toilet. I hit what I think is the flush nozzle. It ain't the flush nozzle. My ass jumped off that toilet so damn fast. It ain't even fucking funny.
Hold on. Similar
Look, I'm from the swamps of North Carolina.
Similar
I grew
incidents.
up very, very white trash. So that was that. I've never fucking seen that shit.
Similar incidents, okay? This is ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, I'm of the old age, or an older age, okay? 1994, my senior year, no joke. I was a band geek, ladies and gentlemen, this one time at band camp. We actually got to play halftime at the Gator Bowl for the marching band stuff. It was literally 50 bands all across the United States. So we're in Florida for the Gator Bowl. We're staying at one of the richy, super rich Marriott hotels, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, fancy ass hotel. I stuck a trumpet up my bum. Okay. So anyway, these hotels had bidets, and as a senior, this is when I learned what a bidet was, guys. Okay, so I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, well, let me put this arm down, thinking that it's some new toilet. I didn't know what it was, so I pulled the arm down, thinking that maybe it doesn't work unless the arm is down. So as I put it down, I went to pee. And after I got done peeing, I flushed the toilet. Sure enough, the bidet sprays up in my fucking face. Okay, I get sprayed in the face with the bidet. So that was from that on, I'm like, what the fuck is up with these toilets, right? I had to have a one of our chaperones come in and explain to me what a bidet was and how to use it. And they had to go and make sure every other student, before they used the bathroom, knew what the bidet was to make sure it didn't happen to them. Because I'm soaked from my face down to the mid waist in piss water. So yes. So let me just tell y'all guys, learn to use a bidet. Whether you're never going to use it in your life, you never know when you're going to come across one and have piss water flush back in your face. Anyway, we need to get back to the topic at hand and show your video.
All right, before we jump into the video, with Cyberpunk coming out in just a little over 24 hours, my buddy of mine made this video. He actually went out and bought the special edition Xbox One, which I told him he was freaking retarded for doing because, yeah, anyway, long story there. But he went out and bought the Xbox One Cyberpunk edition, and he's all hyped about it, and he gets home with it, and he makes this video. So, Retro, you gonna play the video?
Yes, I am.
This is it. So I'm going to tell y'all respectfully, don't call me because I'm playing Cyberpunk. Don't call me on the phone asking for a buck. I'm going to tell you, you shit out of luck because I am playing Cyberpunk. Don't call me late at night looking for some pumps because I am playing Cyberpunk. If you call me trying to stop playing Cyberpunk, I'm respectfully wish that you get hit with a truck. You know why? Because I am playing Cyberpunk. If you try to get me to stop playing, I'm going to swing on you and you better duck. You know why? Because I am playing Cyberpunk. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't FaceTime Google Duo. Don't call me. I am dead to the world. I am playing Cyberpunk.
Now, here's the thing. Let me, hang on. That is for something else, ladies and gentlemen. That is for something else. So, anyway, here's what would have made that funnier. Okay, if he would have tried to hook that Xbox up to sit down and play Cyberpunk and then have to wait for the install.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine him sitting down after doing all this rigmarole to go to sit down and play it, okay? And then when he loads it in, he's got to wait for, well, at least if he's got the disc version, it's going to be an install. And still, how many gigs was it, Hellfire?
It was 120 gigs. download.
120 gigs. So he would have been installing for at least 15 to 30 minutes. So he wouldn't be playing Cyberpunk right away.
Listen, dude, it took me 20 hours. 20 hours to download that shit. Unless he's got some kind of like NASA age fucking internet, which I know he doesn't because he lives in the same town we do. Yeah, it's going to take him a whole lot more than 15 to 20 minutes.
But see, for me, here's my thing in Cyberpunk. So myself and Hellfire, we game share. Okay, so I'm sitting there playing. I'm playing Valhalla, and while I'm playing Valhalla, I get this notice: Cyberpunk started downloading. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't start downloading Cyberpunk. What? And I go down and I look, and sure enough, there's Cyberpunk starting to install. I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? I have to wait for Hellfire to sign out so I can sign into Hellfire to his account to be able to start the download and then go back to my account.
Yep. And what was it, Monday? I think it was Monday. I was like, hey, don't forget to start the download tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
On the 8th. Or no, it's Sunday, but anyway.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't have Cyberpunk. I was like, yeah, you do. And he was like, no, I don't. And I was like, I bought it. It's on my fucking digital. You got it.
But see, it wasn't even that. What made it funny was the fact that you told me to download it on today. So I'm expecting to download it today, ladies and gentlemen. So last night I'm playing, Hellfire's like, well, I'm busy playing Call of Duty right now. I'm like, okay, no problem. Just let me know when you're offline so that I can log in and download it. Okay. And sure enough, last night I get this little pop-up notification whenever he decided to download it. Since we game share, his account is set as on my system, and sure enough, it just pops up and starts downloading. So I don't have to log in as him, and just scared the fuck out of me. Like, wait a minute, I didn't go to download this. Is somebody accessing my PlayStation? So
here's what I wish would have happened. I wish I hadn't reminded you that I had pre-ordered it. And then you'd just been sitting there playing, and all of a sudden, Cyberpunk had started downloading. You'd just be like, so what? Bamboozled.
Be like, Hellfire! Oh my god, I got Hellfire! I got Cyberpunk for free. It just started downloading on my system. But see, you didn't know that it was downloading on my system automatically either. So that would have shocked you too.
And then I called you today, and I was like, hey, go ahead and start downloading if you haven't already. It always started downloading by itself.
Yeah, right. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to tech news. There we go. Tech news, ladies and gentlemen. Tech news. Oh, dang. That's Mahusive. What is Mahusive?
Massive. He's being funny.
Oh. Duh. Okay. So do you want to carry this one, or do you want to move on to the next one?
I see you have no video. What the fuck is that?
Okay, so it looks like I'm going to explain it. No video, ladies and gentlemen, video. Okay, so 2.2 million Chinese yuan, not yen, yuan, or $335,000. That is how much the recently stolen NVIDIA RTX 3090s are worth. MSI, a big manufacturer of video game cards, recently had a shipment of their 3090s stolen from its warehouse in China, ladies and gentlemen. Chinese police are currently still investigating the theft. MSI believes that some of its own employees may be involved. Okay. Thanks to specifics of the theft, as well as the being able to bypass their warehouse security systems, MSI made an internal message offering 100,000 yen, or equivalent $10,000 to anyone who has true information. They plan to offer protection for any in-house whistleblowers. It seems that 2020 pretty much has seen major increase in gaming hardware thefts. That happens inside the industry. I know that the stolen RTX cards joins the list among stolen PS5 consoles, because scalpers are selling these devices, and games and products that are of limited supply, they're higher prices than the actual products are. It's pretty much no wonder why someone would steal inside the company and resell them. The stealing also further limits supplies and allowing scalpers to yet again raise their sell prices. Let's see. I mean, if I knew the shipment was full of 3090s, I would try to rob them too. Fuck that 10,000 or one video card, right? Right. With that $10,000, you could buy a few video cards and then resell them. But yeah, a lot of employees are doing the stealing of these products, the PS5s, the NVIDIA cards, and other things, and then they turn around and they resell them for higher prices because they're going for higher prices since people are not patient enough to wait for them. So they go for higher prices. The problem with this is since they're stealing them, and reselling them, that's product that other stores aren't getting, making it harder for stores to have the stock to resell, keeping them out of stock so that they can again resell them at higher prices. So the more they steal them and resell them to you guys for higher prices, the more the companies can't have them and sell them at a lower prices.
Yep.
So pretty much, we at Critical Hit, we understand the need to buy these things. We recommend you pretty much not buy the overly priced ones. If you decide to buy outside of the major stores, we recommend you spending no more than $100 above the store price, or having the patience, as the company will eventually restock in those items, and you'll be able to get it for the cheaper price. Now, for those who don't, go ahead.
And I'll even go this far. At this point, and really up until I'd say probably May of next year, at the earliest, none of the consoles have, especially PlayStation 5, have no launch titles that you cannot play on PS4.
Yeah.
Every single game that you can play on PS5, you can still play on PS4, and when you get your PS5, you get an upgraded version of those games.
Of those games, yeah.
So you're not missing out on anything. It's not like you're spending money on a game you're going to rebuy. You have the game. You can move it over to PlayStation 5 when you get it. At this point in time, there's no exclusives to the PlayStation 5. It's really, really, really not worth going out and dumping the extra money that these scalpers are charging you guys. Sit on it, wait. You're not missing any games. You're not missing anything at all other than the experience of playing on a PlayStation 5. But if you wait and you hold off on spending your money that they're charging you, when the exclusives come and they're back in stock, the money that you would have spent at a scalper, you'll be able to buy the console and a couple games.
Well, not even that, but they may come out with some kind of console bundles that come with games and have themed to said game, and at a cheaper price than it normally goes for. So then you can use that extra money to buy more games with. Case in point, me and ladies and gentlemen, just so y'all can see, I have an Elgato Wave. Okay, as everybody knows, I wanted the Elgato Wave really, 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 really bad. Hellfire can tell you, I wanted this Elgato Wave really, really bad. Okay, and I was looking at prices, and I was lucky enough to find one that was $50 more than the cost of what they were selling for. But I was seeing some of the Wave 1s, ladies and gentlemen, some of the Wave 1s. Let me explain this. The Wave 1 normally sells for $150. Okay, the Wave 3 sells for around $250. Okay, scalpers were selling the Wave 1 $150 microphone for $350 to $400. Okay, which is more than the cost of a Wave 3. Okay.
Yep.
For me, I did my research. I was able to find a place that was selling them for $50 more. They jacked the price up, but at $200, it's a lot better than paying $300. I was still cheaper than a Wave 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so save your money. Be out there. Don't pay if they're charging more than $100 for something. Do not get it. Just wait. The companies will get in stock with them, and you'll be able to get them for the right price and save that money. Okay, you don't have to have those items right now. Oh, gotta have it. Even though I'm not one to speak, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one that's got to be like, oh, I gotta have it. And I barely have the money to be able to get anything. But just hold off, be mature about it, and have patience. Because patience is a virtue, and for good things come to those who wait. Okay,
and this is something that's like right now that I want that's being scalped like out the ass. Retro wanted the Elgato Wave about as much as I want the Go XLR, and the Go XLRs are like double the price thanks to scalpers right now. So I'm sitting on like $300, and in a couple weeks I would have the money to actually buy the Go XLR at its normal price. But because they're scalped and gone through the roof and they're like $1,000+ right now. I think the cheapest I saw one was like $700, and it was a used one from somebody. But it's still absolutely asinine to spend that, knowing that in 2, 3, 4 months they're gonna come back down. They're gonna be at a normal price. And I can save my money and spend it on something else.
Well, like I said, I've already told you, the Go XLR is stupid for the price that you're paying for it. Oh, but I want to have those virtual keys. I want to be able to touch and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm sorry, but why are you going to spend $400 for a Go XLR, then have to turn around and get XLR microphones, XLR cables, the arms and stuff like that? You're spending astronomical amounts of money when, no offense, the Go XLR is 10 times better than Go XLR. The Elgato Wave is 10 times better than any XLR microphone, and the app that comes with it, the Wavelink, is pretty much exactly the same as Voice Meter, allowing you to do more than what the Go XLR does. No offense. Hey, it's an opinion that comes from experience, ladies and gentlemen. It comes with experience. I want a Sennheiser GSP 600, but it's expensive headset. Hey, I've got XLR microphones, ladies and gentlemen. I've got 3 XLR microphones, and do you see me using them? No. I use them for on location shoots and studio shoots and things like that, but I don't use them for streaming. See, if people stop buying stuff from scalpers, they'd have less incentive. I understand spending extra $200 way less than making $200. Exactly. I also want the Voltec 9-inch. Hey, Onyx Demon, there's a lot of I wants. Trust me, there's a lot of I want, But let me show you something, guys. Look at that. There's a lot of I wants, but there's no I can haves. Okay. So I can want all I want, but I won't get what I want. I can't get what I want. Trust me, there's a lot that I would like to have. Down the road, I will, because why? I have patience. I will wait because I know this. Once I do have the money for something expensive, something cheaper and better is going to come along. Okay?
Onyx.
It says, but I can, but I like sex, so I don't. So anyway, moving on to the next thing, ladies and gentlemen. Google Stadia. Do you want to drop this one out?
Yeah, I can do this one.
Okay.
So as of today, Google will be allowing users to stream directly to YouTube. Of course, I say Google, and then Google pops up on my phone. As of today,
Stadia.
Yeah, Stadia will be allowing users to stream directly to YouTube. From the beginning, good, and YouTube were supposed. Oh, is that supposed to be Stadia, or
what did I put?
You put good in the beginning, good, and YouTube.
I probably did.
I'm assuming you meant Google Stadia. But we're supposed to work together. However, it didn't have it at the November launch. However, yesterday at noon, many Stadia users noticed that it started rolling out on them, giving them the option to stream directly to YouTube or use a streaming software to stream to YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was Google instead of good. Sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, I type up the script, and I'm human. I make mistakes. Okay. But yeah, so pretty much, Google Stadia, they're making it to where you can stream. The rumor is not only will you be able to stream to YouTube with it, they do have it to where using OBS software and stuff like that, you will be able to stream to Twitch or to Facebook or to whatever streaming service that you want to stream to.
Yep.
So
answering some of the comments, the Stadia controller, in my opinion, is kind of garbage. I had a little hands-on with it. Not a huge fan of it. However, there's a few workarounds. You can use the regular Xbox controller with it.
Yeah.
And pretty much if you do not have very, very, very good internet, I wouldn't recommend going with Stadia because it's put a big strain on your internet.
Yeah. Now, you can use the PlayStation and the PlayStation 5 controller, but you to be able to do it, you have to have DS4 for the PlayStation 4, and for the PlayStation 5, it literally has to be connected via USB cable to do it. But with at least with DS4 and the PlayStation 4 controller, you can either be connected via Bluetooth or USB cable. I recommend the USB cable anyway, just because you don't have to worry about it decharging on you. But yeah. So DS4 I installed today. Yeah, I've got DS4 as well. I use DS4 as well. I tried Stadia on my home internet for a whole lot of lag. I almost canceled it and got a refund, but I knew that I was going to be going to a place that would have the fiber optic connection, and I could plug right in and get that high speed connection. And so I did test it on a fiber network. There wasn't a whole lot of lag. There was next to no lag. This was back in beta days. I got in and I was testing out the beta of it last year. I'm assuming they've probably finessed with it, and it's probably a little bit better now. But it's still,
I haven't tried it.
even still with them finessing and stuff, it's still gonna on low internet, it'll still be very, very
You're
laggy.
still gonna need a fiber optic connection.
Yeah, to get the proper play. You could on your connection you're using right now, you won't be able to play it. On the connection I have, I'll be pushing the limits, barely making it, ladies and gentlemen.
And you'd still have lag.
Yeah,
I guarantee you'd still have lag.
Now, if you have the gigabit cable connection, you'll do decent. You won't be as good as fiber, but you'll be right under the fiber, and you'll have occasional lag here and there. But it'll still a gigabit internet connection is what I would say the minimum requirements. I would list that as a gigabit internet connection should be the minimum requirements.
Yeah. And as far as the upload download, I believe they're saying you need 200 down and 25 up. In my experience, I'm gonna say you probably need closer to 700 down and 50 up.
Yeah. Or okay, so I'm on my upload is a 30 up. Okay, I'm on a 30 up. Okay, so if I'm barely making it, that's kind of telling you what's going on. I got a 30 up with a 300 down. Okay, so I'm barely pushing it. So you're gonna want the minimum of 500 down and 50 up. And if you want to go max, I would say the gigabit, which would be 900 down and about 100. I think gigabit's 100 up.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm really, really hoping that fiber gets pushed to more areas. I know it had just come to Virginia Beach before I moved away from Virginia Beach, and I had fiber for 3 months before I left Virginia Beach, and it was just so nice. It was a absolute best internet experience I've ever had in my life. Fiber is definitely a godsend.
Well, some good news for our area, Hellfire, is supposedly from my friends that are working in Verizon. We are supposed to be on our Verizon tower that's out in Edenton, and the one that we got near the state line of NC and VA.
Yep.
They're supposed to be upgrading those two soon to the new 5G.
Yep.
And if they do that, they're supposedly, while they're doing that at the same time, both towers, okay, they're supposedly going to be running the fiber optic lines from Edenton to the one in Virginia and getting those fiber on. So we'll be seeing FiOS in our area soon.
Oh yeah, next 5 years, I'd say.
Yeah. So know that I will be getting that fiber line. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on. In the next bit of news, as you can see there, it's a set of headphones. What could those headphones be, Hellfire? What could those be? Don't they look nice?
They do look nice. They look a little fruity, though.
Really? I would say they look a little fruity. How many of y'all out there think that they're a little fruity? You know? So much fruity that was anyone surprised by this? Surprised by what? 5G kills everything. Surprised by what? Okay. Fruity Apple has now released the AirPod Max. Oh, hang on. Apple can eat my ass. Oh, you already allowed it. Okay, cool. So Apple has released their AirPod Max. It is not confirmed after. It is now confirmed after months and months of rumors. Apple has announced their first ever over-the-ear headphones today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, officially they announced it. The AirPod Max will offer active noise canceling, hands-free access to Siri, and other Apple design elements for a price point of $549. Apple claims that the headset will have high-fidelity audio. Using their H1 chip, they will feature the 40mm speaker drivers and deliver deep bass, accurate mid-range, and crisp highs for what Apple claims to be a breakthrough in listening experience. Where did I lose? Okay, so that's different. Okay, so yeah, they look like toilet bowl seats. Thanks a lot, Little Celeste. Now I want macaroons. Smoking crack. Apple will charge you for that. Yeah, they'll charge you. Yeah, Apple charges for everything. Like, pretty much, we can pretty much jokingly say that Apple's going to charge you. You got to buy them, and then after you buy them, you have to pay the Apple tax, and then after you pay the Apple tax, you have to pay Apple. Is going to have a monthly listening fee where you have to pay monthly just to use them, okay? And then you have to buy the songs, and then you're going to have the Apple listening service where you have to literally buy their listening service to be able to hear them. And if you miss paying for them, your headphones turn off and you can't hear nothing out of them because, as we know, Apple makes you pay for everything. Now, speaking of that and toilet bowls, how much you want to bet that Apple gets into the toilet bowl business and make it to where you have the Apple toilet, where you have to actually pay Apple so much money for every flush that you make, and they'll offer the monthly flush service. The Apple bidet. There we go. They're going to come out with. They're going to solve the solution with the Apple bidet. Every time you want to wash your ass, you have to pay Apple so much money unless you get their Apple service, which would be called Apple Flush.
Yep. Here's what I wish. The absolute worst thing that ever happened in music tech, I guess is what headphones would be classified as, ever happened, in my opinion, was the day Apple bought Beats by Dre.
Right.
Because they ran that shit
to the ground.
Beats by Dre used to be premium. You got them and you knew you were getting the best listening experience you could buy on the consumer level.
Right.
And now it is shit.
To go along with what Onyx said that he'll never not use a Samsung Note. Okay, Onyx, I am used to the Samsung Note as well. My Samsung Note died on me. I don't have the money yet for a Samsung Note. I will eventually have a Note again. But for now, as you see, I am working on, let me get it up in the frame. There we go. I am working on a Samsung phone still. I am a devout Samsung user, ladies and gentlemen. I will have, once again, a Samsung Note. There's no better phone, and you cannot change my mind on this. There is no better phone than a Samsung Note. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I will put it this way. I bought this on launch day. I literally bought it on launch day. It's all busted up now. But the Samsung Gear... there it is.
There you go.
S10 Plus, and I freaking love it. Every now and again, I gotta clean it up, and so it slows down. But it's an Android. That's to be expected.
Yeah.
And my job gives me a work phone, and it gets shipped to me. It comes in the mail, and it's an iPhone, and I about puked. That's how badly I hate Apple.
Well, see, I love Samsung so much, ladies and gentlemen. I have an S3. An S3.
Where is mine? It's here somewhere. But yeah, I've got the S3 as well.
Yeah. And I love it. Like, no joke, ladies and gentlemen, I actually make watch faces for all phones, but I make one for mine. If many of you out there have played the Borderlands game, Borderlands 3, there is a character called Mose, and Mose wears a smartwatch, okay? I am the creator of the working Mose watch face for iPhone, or for the iWatch, the Gears, and the Motorola watches, and all the watches out there. I am the creator of the working Mose watch face. Okay, just to kind of throw that out there. I gotta work, y'all. Okay, take it easy, Celeste. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you for being here. Anyway, moving on. I didn't put the SpaceX in there. Keeping up with this to make sure it's still good news. Okay, I put a note in there. I'm sitting there reading my notes. SpaceX, ladies and gentlemen, sometime today and the next week, keep an eye out in the sky. You may get to see SpaceX in flight. 7 a.m. this morning, SpaceX lined up on the launch pad. It has a live feed going on YouTube right now that you'll be able to watch. Stop right there. Important argument. Okay, important argument. We gotta stop, ladies and gentlemen. The almighty Onyx Demon asked us to stop talking. So what is it, Onyx Demon? We all pause for your awesome important argument. What is it? We're waiting. We're all eyes and ears right now. Important argument. We're waiting. Do. We
need the Jeopardy time music.
I know. I need to throw it in here. We're waiting, Onyx. Come on. Oh wait, it would be a little bit better if I put my gear on.
Watch on.
Yeah.
There it is. Remember
there we go.
when Google wanted to provide free high-speed internet worldwide, but now Elon Musk wants to throw
42,000 satellites into the air, and that's just okay because he's charging people. Okay, so Google still is going to work on their free internet. Okay, that's still coming. That is still coming. They are trying to, if I'm correct, if I remember this correctly, they are trying to put out free fiber optic internet all across the U.S. and the world. So. Yeah, but the world's government is shutting it down, shunning it. Let them shun it. They can't stop it.
They can't shun it.
We want it. Google is, if anyone can do it, Google can. Okay. Now, Elon Musk charging, that's still unseen as of right now. That said, if he can get a super high speed internet across the thing and it's affordable, I'm okay with it. If he wants to charge rich people money above what Verizon wants to charge, we're going to have some issues with Mr. Elon Musk, okay? Because, no offense, I've got it. I need to get it. I need to bring it out and show them one day. I've got not a flamethrower. I have not a flamethrower, okay? Because it's not a flamethrower. It is I don't know what to call it. It's a torch? But it's not a flamethrower. I've got one. But yeah, honestly, I think he's a sketchy dude. He does come off as sketchy, but that's because he's, what is he, Scandinavian or Sweden or Sweden. So he's Swedish. Okay, so of course he's gonna come off as a creepy, sketchy guy. Now, that said, back to the notes. Let me go ahead and drop that apple off. Now, as I was saying, keep an eye on it. There is a live feed for SpaceX on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. For those that don't know, SpaceX, as Onyx Demon Lovely pointed out, so it shows he knows, is Elon Musk's multiplanetary fast travel space vehicle. They are planning to see if it can reach 50,000 feet and if it can perform aerodynamic moves and then do its landing flip maneuver where it can flip and land down perfectly. So they've got a lot of tests to do to see. And hey, people may not like Elon Musk, but the idea that he can bring us actual space travel is something to think about.
Here's the thing. People have a lot of opinions on Elon. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. My personal opinion is that the guy's a freaking genius, and he's a humanitarian at his core. Everything he does is for the betterment of humanity. I was watching his interview yesterday or the day before that, where he was talking about the progress of the underground tunnels that he's building in Vegas as a prototype demo to kind of show off that we can move traffic below ground to stop congestion in bigger cities. And then he's working on underground bunkers and cities that are going to exist underground as well. But I don't want to get into social topics, but personally, I do believe in global warming. I believe in the overpopulation. If we're not overpopulated now, we're well on our way, and we have to come up with some kind of solution, whether it's going to space and living on another planet or moving cities underground because we're running out of room.
So here's the thing with underground. If we burrow too much underground and have too much underground holes and tunnels and stuff like that, we weaken the top of the world, okay?
Yep.
And everything will fall through. So in my eyes, going underground too much is a bad thing. So in my opinion, going the route of the SpaceX program and going into outer space and looking to venture out in other areas is a better idea, because for all we know, the answer to us living a longer life and probably the fountain of youth and, being able to live forever, we might be able to live forever, but the answer may be out there somewhere, and we're never going to know if we don't reach beyond the stars and see what is out there. And we already know a lot of what's on the earth and what's in the earth. We need to start to explore what is beyond. Quit focusing on what's here and look past. Focus on the global warming issues and looking to move out, because if the global warming issues keep happening and the earth decides to destroy, I would be safe knowing that my daughter or her kids are going off to another safe planet where there is no global warming, where there is no disasters, and they can start new with all new societies and things like that. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm good with that. Now, that said, let's move on to the next subject, because we are now done with tech news. And when we're done with tech news, what's the next thing after tech news?
I think it's game news.
Game news. Let's see. Is it game news? Why, yes, it's game news. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for game news. We've got a lot of cool things for you. Let me scroll through the notes here, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually got a lot of great news for you. One happens to, was it tonight or tomorrow night at midnight? I think it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night at midnight. Tomorrow night at midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and drop that up there. As you see, we got a nice bright yellow map there. Wonder what that map is. Yay, game news is my favorite, Tabitha says. And we got something for you, Tabitha. Well, for me and you anyway, because I don't know how much he's into it, but at least for me and you, Tabitha. But as you see right here, this is the times and dates that Cyberpunk 2077 goes live and in the areas that they go live in. Now, for those of us in the East Coast, as you'll see the straight line from America's East Coast down to South America, for those of us in the East Coast, the game goes live on PC, okay, at 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? For the rest of the world on consoles, it goes live tomorrow night at midnight. So if you have a PC and you're on the East Coast, it will go live for you at 7 p.m. That means the West Coast, Tabitha's area, will get it at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. on our time, 7 p.m. their time, Eastern time.
Yep.
So, well, no, actually, no, because I'm thinking backwards.
It's backwards. She'll get it at
4 o'clock.
Okay.
So the West Coast will get it at 4 p.m. on tomorrow for PC only. Consoles all across everywhere. It's going to be midnight. So for us, it'll be midnight on the East Coast, and then the West Coast will be midnight as well. Because I don't know how that works. How they get whatever. It's whatever. But midnight for all across the board for console systems. That's fine with me.
Pro tip.
Hold on,
VPN, we talked about it. VPN, and then tell your PlayStation you're in another part of the world. Give it a couple hours early.
But here's the thing: the VPN thing can get you in trouble too. So be wary of it. So anyway, getting in with the information as well on Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, already talked about it. Okay, so yeah, moving on from Cyberpunk 2077, we're gonna move on to Rust. Okay. Now, before we start talking about Rust, do you know what Rust is?
Yeah, I know what Rust is. I'm not really a fan of Rust, but I know what Rust is.
Okay, for people like me, I love Rust. Okay, now I have to play with super dumb graphics because it's an overly high graphic game. Okay, we're talking epic level graphics to where they actually have a setting of graphics called Potato, and I'm running on the Potato graphics, ladies and gentlemen, which is kind of stupid and funny at the same time. But so many of us gamers have played the PC game Rust, and many console players have been droolingly anticipating it coming to console. It is still coming out on console, just not in 2020. Double 11, the studio who makes the game now, has made the notice that the game is still in production with plans of a 2021 release. For those who don't know Rust, it is a multiplayer only survival game originally developed by Face Punch Studios. It was released in 2013 as a partial release on Steam, and a complete release was released in 2018. It was originally created as a clone of DayZ as a mod for Arma 2. The game features crafting elements similar to games like Minecraft, Forest, Conan Exile, and Fallout 76. But yeah, so 2021, it will be coming to consoles, and this is something that I do know, having Rust on PC, even though I can't play it, I still get Rust news, ladies and gentlemen. They are working, since they use their own servers, Hillfire. Guess what that means?
Cross-platform.
Cross-platform. It will be cross-network playable, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it comes out on the PS4 and the Xbox One, that I don't know, but I do know for a fact it will be PS5 and it will be Xbox Series X and S. Okay, more than likely.
At this point, it will. At this point, with the date they're releasing, I'm assuming they probably won't bother porting it to two previous gen consoles.
And with the high graphics that it requires and the power that it requires, I doubt it would go there, because it would take a serious major patch to make it dumbed down to be able to be played on those consoles.
Yep, exactly.
So, but if you got a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or a Beast computer like he has that he likes to rub in my face, since I can't afford a Beast computer, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to play the game with superb graphics and superb quality. So definitely be looking for it in 2021. This moves us into a video that we got for you. before we play the video or before we talk about it, we're going to play the video for you, ladies and gentlemen. So let's switch to there. This here is for you, Tabitha. This is the news.
Oh, no. This is for me. This is my shit right here.
Oh, you're going to talk about this? Me, this is your shit.
Well, I don't want to say what it is, but yeah, this game, I am so fucking hyped for this game.
Same here. I've been playing it on PC. Okay, I've been playing the game. I ain't gonna say where I've been playing it, but I've been playing the game. So I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fans, ladies and gentlemen, right here. And right here, if I can get it out for you. It's going to take a few minutes. I've showed this on my personal stream, but as y'all see right there, there's the Triforce of Power with... Look at this prettiness, this awesomeness right here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Ocarina of Time from Ocarina of Time, the game. Playable, ladies and gentlemen, and I am working on learning how to play it. So yeah,
I'm gonna show off my baby since you're showing off everything.
Oh, I got other things. I just can't show it off right now. But yeah, nice. That is nice. That's
the newest 3DS XL that came out like 3 or 4 years
now,
ago.
Before we start talking about this, is the rumors true that someone said that that Breath of the Wild is supposed to be coming to 3DS? Is that true?
I highly doubt it. But here's the thing: they haven't talked about releasing another 3DS, so I highly doubt they're making another 3DS. And this struggles to run some of the Wii games that they have ported over to it.
Right.
Like the Wii version of Smash Brothers is on here. I actually own the 3DS version of Smash Bros. That originally launched on Wii.
Gotcha.
And it's very, very slow. It runs good once it launches, but it is slower than the Wii version. I really, really highly doubt that the 3DS is going to be able to handle Breath of the Wild unless they really dumb down everything in the game.
Got you. So do we want to play the video first, or do we want to talk about it first?
Let's play the video and then we can go and talk about it.
Play the video. Let's go ahead and switch to the full video screen. Oh, no, wrong one. Shit.
Whoop.
Fuckity fuck.
They got to look in the back of the studio for a
Yep.
minute.
You got to look at the back of the studio, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we don't have. I don't have it set for full screen right now. So you're gonna have to watch it in the small screen, but it's still good enough either way it goes. And there, I don't know if you can read that screen right there, ladies and gentlemen, what that screen says. The sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now in development. So we have some Breath of the Wild news for you guys. Do you want to read it or do you want me?
I will read this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Last year, Nintendo released the trailer for the Breath of the Wild 2 that spawned a torrent of rumors and speculation. Now we know Nintendo is really strict on leaking and releasing information when it comes to the first-party titles. This holds merit with Breath of the Wild 2. With that, we have some info. Oh my God.
That is thanks to
No, the mouse. Yeah.
Got you.
We know blah 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 blah.
We have some info.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it was because it just went all over the place. If
Breath-
you want to keep going.
Okay, so with with that, we have some information that is thanks to people who have viewed the trailer and pieced together some information. Before we give off that info, right now there is no release date, though many people have speculated a holiday 2020 release. The holiday. Hold on. But, no, they were speculating 2020. But as we know, now it is the holidays, and we have no information, no release date or nothing for the game. This means that it's likely going to be another, thanks to COVID, 2021 release game.
Well, here's what I'm seeing happen. I believe, because we talked about, I think it was last week, we talked about the insider information that we had regarding the new model of the Switch.
Right.
That will be more powerful and will handle more higher intense graphics and all this, that, and the other. I believe we're going to see if either this will be a launch title with that, or it will release shortly after that. Because I believe it'll probably coincide with the new Switch console.
And that makes sense. The reason why that makes sense, okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand Nintendo like I do, having worked at GameStop, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, they can't do shit to me now for saying GameStop publicly. GameStop sucks. I will forever call them GameStop. GameStop, if y'all are watching here, let me tell you, you guys are assholes, plain and simple. Now, moving on, if you know Nintendo like I do, you'll pay attention to a few key factors. Okay, what game did the Nintendo what game did the came with the Nintendo Wii when it first released?
I mean, aside from the
sports game, yeah.
Sports game,
yeah.
I believe it was that what a game was it? It was one of the Zelda games.
It was one of the Zelda games. Yes.
Was it Twilight Princess?
It was not Twilight Princess.
Not Twilight Princess.
I'll explain that one here in a minute. But it was a Zelda game. It was Wind Waker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, what released with the Nintendo Wii U that superseded the Nintendo Wii? Twilight Princess, and then they released it on the Nintendo Wii. So pretty much the Nintendo Wii started with Twilight Princess and it ended with Breath of the Wild. Okay, the Nintendo Switch started with the Breath of the Wild. Remember?
Yep.
So, knowing this, that they're starting it with these games, how much you want to bet the new version of the Switch will be also the release of the Breath of the Wild sequel, just to coincide with the original release as well?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I mean, all you have to do, and if you've been a gamer and you've been buying consoles and games for a long time, then you already know what I'm about to say because you've witnessed it happen over and over and over again as you go to buy games and consoles. If they have a history and they have a pattern of how they release things, it's pretty safe to place your money and your bets saying they're going to continue that same pattern, because most likely they're going to continue the same pattern, which means the new Zelda game will release with the new console.
Yeah. Now, I have a feeling that for what's going to happen is they're probably going to do the same thing with the Nintendo Wii U and the Switch, where they had they're going to release the Breath of the Wild sequel in an enhanced version for the new version of the Switch, and they will release a lower quality version for the regular Nintendo Switch.
See, I don't see that happening just because of some of the information that I've been getting from insider sources, saying that the same game cartridges will work on both consoles. The only difference is that when you plug it in, there will be an update file for the new consoles that will upgrade the graphics.
And that's the thing, we're working off rumors. So
yeah, we are working off
that's
rumors.
why I'm
speculation.
Right, and that's the reason why I'm stating, depending on how things go. Because we know they came out with the Nintendo Switch system that had no slot, where you had to have digital only games.
Yep.
So I have a feeling if they have some kind of special version that has enhanced graphics and stuff like that, they may do a dual version of the game for certain reasons, especially with the digital version that's out there of the Switch as well.
It's very possible. I'll just say that it's possible. Historically, looking at how they've handled business and what they're saying, I don't see that likely, but it's possible.
It's possible, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even my idea is just basing off how they did things with the Wii and the Wii U and the Switch. So I'm just basing things off there, and if they keep in with their little path there, they may surprise us. It may be a Mario game. It may be a Mario game that gets released with the new Switch. Or it could be a Donkey Kong game that gets released with it. Who knows? But speculating with the way that they've done things in the past, with them announcing the Breath of the Wild is coming and in development, it only makes sense that it would come with the new system next year in 2021.
Exactly.
So that said, with the trailer, we know that players will be returning to Hyrule once again. This means they can that we can expect to see some new areas. We can expect to see some new areas we have never seen before in the Breath of the Wild Hyrule. Another note that people have noticed is that it seems to be a bit darker of a game, similar to Majora's Mask. Okay, so we can expect some elements of Majora's Mask being retold, because as we know, and Tabitha's saying she can't wait. As we know, every time they make a game, it always retells some aspects of prior Legend of Zelda games. Okay,
yeah, and I think it's interesting. They kind of, every Zelda game, it's like they release a couple that seem like they're in the same universe, and then every couple years, every couple games, they go in and they just scratch that entire universe and start the story over again in like a parallel universe. And it's really interesting because you get the same story, but a slightly different telling, and you get new areas and a whole new kind of story to go along with that. So it's one of the reasons why I love Zelda.
Exactly. And see, one of the things that I love, especially with Breath of the Wild, is the fact that with Breath of the Wild, they actually mentioned that in the storyline that every 100 years, I think it was, there's always a hero. I like how they're like, oh, we know that we've retold stories, and there's always new stories every 100 years. There's always another Link, always another hero. So I like that they went that route with it, and with the retelling. I've seen like that. If you watch, they had that mummy that leaned back and his eyes open. That almost has a Majora's Mask retelling because it looks like a mummy, and we know that the Egyptians used to wear headdresses and masks and sarcophaguses, or sarcophagi, something like that. I don't know what the plural sarcophagus is, but whatever the plural sarcophagus is, sarcophagi, sarcophagus, sarcophaguses, sarcophages.
Okay, sir.
but whatever that plural is, that would make sense that they're doing some kind of retelling of Majora's Mask. In an Egyptian sarcophagus, mask, headdress wearing means.
It's possible, very, very possible.
But again, with that saying, we know that the idea of the game comes from having many unreleased DLC. So for Breath of the Wild 1, they had loads and loads and loads of DLC planned. That they took all these DLC and just mushed them and recreated them and refixed them into one actual game. So now all these DLCs have become its own separate game. So I'm really, really interested to see where it goes, because I actually loved the Breath of the Wild. I loved Twilight Princess. I loved Legend of Zelda 1, Legend of Zelda 2. I loved Ocarina of Time. There's some Zelda games that I didn't like, but I loved Breath of the Wild, and I can't wait to see what they do with Breath of the Wild 2, because this is the first time since Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, back in the original Nintendo game, that we actually get a number 2 sequel, an official number 2 sequel, in a long time in Zelda games.
It makes sense, though, like, from a business standpoint, Breath of the Wild was the best-selling Zelda game ever.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was hands down the best-selling game, and I think part of that it's attributed to the fact that we had a Zelda game, which already has a huge fan base in and of itself, and then they brought it into more of an open world, modern RPG, almost a Western style RPG in some ways, instead of the Eastern RPG style,
right?
And that kind of attributed to some of its success, personally, I believe. So I think it checked all the right boxes. For financial success.
Well, see, you've got the Zelda fans like me who were there when the first Zelda was released. Okay, so you got the nostalgic, the old nostalgic, the retro nostalgic people like myself. Okay, you've got Tabitha's age group that grew up with certain versions of Zelda, like the 64. Okay, then you have your group that was around the GameCube era of Zelda games.
64 is what I started on.
I understand it's what you started on, but your age group, the Cube was out. It was the Cube was the newest new. That's what I was going at. So your age group had the Cube, okay? Then you have John Blitz's age group that had the Nintendo Wii, okay, and the Wii U, okay? And then you have my daughter's age group that was the Nintendo Switch. So here you have all these generations of Zelda fans it's obvious that a Zelda game is going to sell, for one, just for nostalgic purposes and fan love. Then you add in the open world aspect of a Zelda game. Then you add in the high-end graphics that Breath of the Wild had, and the slight cel shading that it had, and the story of it connecting all the Zelda games together. I mean, it literally had... it had A through Z of a checklist, like check A, B, C, D. It literally had the whole alphabet in checklists checked off.
Exactly.
They had every core element that would make something sell. So I mean, it's a no-brainer that if you had this big seller and you had all these DLCs that would have been good DLCs, that you meld into a sequel of a game that has a darker tone. So now we have the happy of Breath of the Wild. Now we're gonna get the dark side of Breath of the Wild. So we're getting that yin and yang balance of Zelda now.
And I think one of the things that I think I almost overlooked, and I think it's important we don't overlook it, is as far as attributing success. Because Zelda is a success every single time it launches. It has never once flopped. But
hold on, there was a Zelda game that did flop. Okay, but this was back during the Laserdisc eras when they had a Laserdisc game, the cartoon cel shaded 2D game. But we won't mention that. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah. Even that sold. It wasn't like a huge success, but it still sold decently. But one of the things that I think is important to remember about Breath of the Wild is the fact that it launched on the Switch, which was a portable console.
Yeah.
Which meant for the first time you could play console Zelda with you on the go. And it was just people. I mean, I remember standing in line day after day after day trying to get my hands on a Switch when the Switch launched.
Hold on, here's what's funny about that, okay? For those who don't know, as you remember, I used to work at GameStop. When he's talking about standing in line, usually when he was standing in line with me at the line. So I remember this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because I stood in line like 3 days in our town, and you were still working there.
Yeah.
So I'd go in and I'm like, we got any switches in? No switches in. And it was at the same time I was working out of town a lot, so I was always on the road. And I went to a place called Martinsville, Virginia, small kind of ish town
Right.
in the mountains. Beautiful, beautiful town. But I went there and I was like, I want a new game. I got my food money. I'll just eat like dollar menu and I'll go buy a new game with my food money. So that's what I did. I went to GameStop and I was like, they were like, oh, we're getting new Switches in tomorrow. I was like, oh, we are. And so I was like, what time? And they're like, told me. So I got off work and I went straight to GameStop. I sat at GameStop from the time I got off work at 4:30 to midnight when they finally were like, okay, we can come in. You can we're going to get the games out now. And I was like the last person. I got the last freaking Switch at that time, and I was so freaking happy.
Well, see, okay. Hopefully, you remember this one. Remember when, like, I had pre-ordered it at and Nagayo. We had got them in, and like, we had this one kid. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave up my pre-ordered Nintendo Switch. Okay, we had a kid that wanted a Switch, didn't pre-order it. And we had to tell him that, you know, until we have some that are available, we have to give all the pre-order ones first. And you know, the only last pre-order one we had left was mine. Okay, and I was supposed to get it that night after I got off work. Okay.
Yep.
And so it was the last one, and we couldn't sell that one. And the kid, he was I don't know how to say this politically correct on stream, but he was a special kid.
Yeah.
Okay, he had Down syndrome as well as autism. Both. He was autistic and Down syndrome. And as he was walking out, I was in the back eating lunch when the guy was telling him, and I had seen what was going on, and he looked really depressed, and he was going to go pick out something else instead of the Switch. I think he was looking at the DS games and stuff, and Nagayo had come to the back and told me what was going on, and I'm like Nagayo, I'm like, go ahead and give it. The next time we get one, I'll wait, and I'll get the next shipment, you know. And she was like, okay, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I was like, you know, so she gave that, what was supposed to be my Switch, ladies and gentlemen, to this kid who had Down syndrome and autism. And the kid was happy. The mother knew what was going on, and she thanked me. And the kid walks out with the Nintendo Switch, and I felt like I felt happy. Okay, but it was a few days later that I felt like shit because ladies and gentlemen, it was literally 3 months. 3 months before I got another Nintendo Switch. So I'm just like, you know, what made it really bad was the fact that you're a saint, sir. No more Stream Demons. It's now Stream Angels. So anyway, what made it worse was Hellfire had his Switch, and he comes in with it in his hands, be like, "Oh, I'm coming to get such and such game." I forgot what game it was you were coming with, and
so it was the release of Assassin's Creed Origins, and the same night was the Mario game release.
It was Mario. That's right.
So I walk in with a bag full of like dollar tacos from Taco Bell. It was like a whole bag, and I brought it and set on the counter. Everybody got tacos, and I sat in the corner playing Switch all night long, waiting for that game to launch.
Well, see, what was bad is I couldn't even eat the fucking tacos because they had fucking cheese on them. Which is like, I'm watching everybody out there, including Watson, eat the tacos, you know, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm hungry. I'm so fucking hungry, you know, and all I had was these free chips that we were giving away, okay? And so I was upset. So anyway, it came time to get the games and stuff, and here comes Hellfire. I need a fake Switch. Pretend this is a Switch, guys. Hellfire was like, I'm ready for my game. Playing his Switch, I'm like, okay. So I'm getting his stuff. He's like, so have you played Zelda yet? Or are you getting your game? I'm like, I haven't got my Switch yet. He's like, what? I was like, we're not getting.
I remember you telling me you were like all hyped, like pre-ordered it. And I saw in my head you had already gotten it.
So here he is playing his Switch right in front of me, bragging about him getting Mario Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins, and I still haven't gotten my Switch. My Zelda game is being held off, okay? My Mario game for that night was going to get held off. I was going to buy them, but, it is what it is. So I had to wait. It was, I think it was, what was it?
About a month and a half, 2 months later.
Right, a month and a half, 2 months later that I got my fucking Switch, okay? So I was ecstatic. I'm like, I got my Switch. Here comes Hellfire coming in. I'm trading my Switch in. Yeah, you did. You traded your Switch in.
Nope.
You
no,
sure? Or was it one of your...
it was one of my extra DSs. I used to have like 2-3 DSs.
I knew you were trading something in because you were getting a different game, and I can't remember what game it was that you were getting. But you were trading stuff in, and you'd asked, "Have I got my Switch yet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I finally got my Switch." And I showed you because I had that nice little case for it, and opened it up, and yeah, I was so excited. I finally, after 3 fucking months, ladies and gentlemen, got me a Switch. Okay, and then, not even, what was it? I think it was 2 months later, a 7-year-old mini-me was playing my Switch, and it's like, "Oh, Daddy, this is nice." She was like, "Can I have it?" So she liberates my Switch from me and takes it as her own. So not only did I wait 3 months to play it, but 2 months after playing it, I lose it again. So I don't have a Switch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, because I didn't sell my Switch till last December.
Yeah,
because I remember when I sold it, because was Keegan working there when you left?
Keegan? The girl Keegan, or
like short-ish girl, skinny, green hair.
After I left, she was after.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, because she was the one that checked me out, and I remember because I got her number before I left, and yeah. Long story there.
Because Keegan was the one. Okay, so when Sean, the district manager of GameSlop, fired me to try to have sex with Hunter, he promoted Hunter to my position, which was store manager, and then he hired Keegan to replace Hunter. So yeah.
Yeah, because Keegan never took the position because Keegan works like 3 jobs. She didn't have time for it.
Yeah. So that's the story, how Retro still doesn't have a Switch, ladies and gentlemen. I still play the Breath of the Wild. Not going to say how, because it is this. But I am playing Breath of the Wild. I'd love to have a Switch again so I can play with Tabitha on some of her games. But it'll happen sometime next year. I will have a Switch again. But, I'm patient, ladies and gentlemen. That said, we don't have no more news. But you know what time it is now?
I believe it is time to wrap things up.
It is time to wrap things up. Hellfire, do the honors.
All right. So as we do every single week, we recognize 2020 has been a very, very hard year. We're coming to the close of the year, and we're keeping our fingers crossed, hoping for a better year next year. But this year has been extremely hard on a lot of people, and we recognize that suicide rates have skyrocketed in the last year. So if you or someone you know is going through something right now that you just need some help, you need somebody to talk to, please reach out and get the help that you need. As we say every single week, myself and Retro, we're here for you. Phone lines are open. The Discord is open. Jump in there. Send us a message. We're here to talk to you. But if you need some more help, or you don't feel comfortable talking to us, feel free to call the number or go to the website and chat with somebody and get the help that you need, or the help that you need to help somebody else that you know that's going through something. The resources are there, and you are worth so much more than suicide.
Yeah. Going off what Hellfire said, the suicide prevention lifeline, they have the website. The phone number is right. Oh, let me get a point right there. The phone number is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Go to their website. They have information, resources. They even have an online chat system so you can chat to them. Okay. So there's no excuse. There's no reason for suicide. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we've already told our stories. Myself and Hellfire have given our stories. I to this day still deal with depression. Okay, I have I'm in the process of trying to get it taken care of right now. I have a medical condition thanks to my days as an officer getting jumped and getting herniated discs. I'm having issues where I can be normal like right now. Within matters of seconds, I will flip and be angry. And within seconds, I can flip and instantly start crying for no reason. Okay. So I feel the depression. I understand very, very much. And even still, I know that suicide is not the answer in any way whatsoever. Okay. There are lots of us out there, there's help out there. Take advantage of it. Use it. If you want to get attention and say like you're attention starved, you're not really suicidal, and you just want attention, don't pretend suicide. I'll be glad to give you the attention you want. I love to talk. I love to listen. Talk to me. Let me run my mouth. Let me listen to you run your mouth. I'm all for it. Hey, you want to play a video game? I'll jump in a video game with you. John Blitz knows that. If my Xbox was working, I'd be playing Fallout Nuclear Winter with them. My Xbox don't work now, so I can't play with them. But, hey, you want to play a game with me? Hellfire's the same way. I know that Fluffy Life, Sweet Biscuits, and Stream Demons, I'm pretty sure Tabitha will be willing to talk to people. There's people out there willing to listen to you, Take advantage of the situation. Suicide is never the answer. If you have a friend that is suicidal, you can still contact them and they will help you to talk to your friend or talk to your friend for you. If, as Hellfire likes to mention, if it's a money issue, it's not an all the time thing that they're just handing out money left and right, but in certain cases, they might be able to lower certain bills and pay for certain bills and things like that and help you manage and get back on your feet. Okay. There's other instances, Chapter 8. Some people may think going on Chapter 8 is a bad thing. Use Chapter 8 as a springboard to get yourself back in order, get yourself a job, have a temporary place to live. And once you get your finances back in order and you're back to doing what you need to do, don't feel bad about using the tools that are out there. They're there for a reason. Use them. Don't feel ashamed about it. This is not high school. We're not high school people. We're adults. Make adult decisions. Don't make childish high school decisions. The help is there. Take advantage of it. I mean, there's nothing more than that. Hellfire, do you anything left to say? Anybody that you want to raid?
Yep, I've already got the raid set up. I don't have anything else to add to that. I think we pretty much covered it. Pretty much, if you're going through something, get the help that you need. I can't emphasize it enough. I'm here for you. Retro's here for you. Stream Demons are here for you. And if you're not comfortable talking to somebody that you know, then the hotline is there for you. You can get the help that you need.
So who are we rating?
We are rating a streamer that I met 2-3 days ago, and I'm enjoying her stream. So she's live.
Tell me a little bit about it before we go into.
So she is running, or she was running when I met her, a charity stream, and that's how I met her. But she is playing Minecraft right now. Okay. She's got her Christmas theme set up. I know she's got her Christmas tree set up in the background, and you'll see that when we raid. I don't want to give too much away. We gotta let her introduce herself.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and get that started, Hellfire, and I'm gonna say my goodbyes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for once again letting us give you tech news, game news, the weird news, having some laugh with you, telling stories with you. We appreciate those of you who stuck with us. It's okay. There it goes. It finally popped up. Before we leave, make sure you, when you go there, #CriticalHit, #raid, let her know about Stream Demons, give some shout outs to Stream Demons as well, but show some love, stay for 5 minutes. If you don't like her, you're more than welcome to leave after the 5 minutes. If you like her, add her, follow her, show the love. But thank you all for being here. I love each and every single one of you.
Yep, and as we say every single week, you guys are the reason that we do what we do, and we would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for the support and love that you give us, and we will see you next week.
Okay, it's not giving me the option to...
I'll hit it.